Welcome to the new 2011 St. Thomas Aquinas College News. I'm Ashley Finan. Stack is a news show produced in our own Stack TV studio.
And I'm Kevin Fallon. In today's top story, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie vetoed a tax break on Monday, which would have awarded the producers of MTV's The Jersey Shore with $420,000 worth of taxpayers' money. The tax credit, which would have reimbursed the producers of the show for 20% of their first season filming costs, caused controversy among New Jersey residents and politicians almost immediately when it was announced on September 16th. New Jersey State Assemblyman Declan O'Scanlan said of the tax credit, quote, "I can't believe we are paying for fake tanning Snooki and the situation. I'm not even sure $420,000 covers that," end quote. Andre Domino, the president of the Italian-American One Voice Coalition, an organization that tries to end negative stereotypes, had urged Governor Christie to veto the bill, claiming that the show stereotypes Italian Americans while promoting violence and cast members who openly break the law. When the credit was announced, a spokesperson for the governor said that while the governor strongly disagreed with the credit, it was not within his power to stop it. But on Monday, Governor Christie did veto the credit after all, stating in a memo, quote, "As chief executive, I am duty-bound to ensure that our taxpayers are not footing a $420,000 bill for a project which does nothing more than perpetuate misconceptions about the state and its citizens," end quote. And now over to Ashley with some more news.
The FBI has saved us again. 26-year-old Rezwan Firdaus has been arrested, being accused of plotting a terrorist attack on the Pentagon and the U.S. Capitol. Firdaus planned to fly a large remote-control aircraft filled with explosives into the building. He is now facing charges that could land him up in jail for up to 60 years. Firdaus was arrested after he purchased what was believed to be 25 pounds of plastic explosives, 3 grenades, and 6 assault rifles from FBI undercover agents who were posing as operatives for al-Qaeda. While planning his attack, Firdaus traveled to Washington and took surveillance photos of his targets. The officials say that he told the agents over and over again that he was driven to kill Americans, which he called enemies of Allah. He also told undercover officials, "I just cannot stop. There is no other choice for me." During the investigation, the undercovers stated that they saw him convert 8 cell phones into detonators. Firdaus is scheduled to be in court Wednesday afternoon. FBI agents are thinking that Firdaus will try and claim entrapment by the undercovers, but the agents say that they gave him multiple opportunities to abort his plot during the investigation. Now to Jared and Craig with sports.
Thanks, Ashley. I'm Jared Reyes alongside Craig Jennings, bringing you up to date on everything sports. So let's start off with the MLB. As odd as this may sound, die-hard Yankee fans were actually rooting against the Yanks against Tampa Bay, and they got it. And why, would you ask? Well, when the Rays defeated the Yankees, Boston, Yankees rivals, were actually put out of playoff contention.
It's kind of surprising that they would want to lose a game going into last week of the last game of the regular season, but it came down to that because Boston was lost already due to a comeback of the Orioles, who were down 3-2 going into the 7th during the rain delay, and then a matter of moments after the Orioles won the game, the Rays came back in the 9th inning and played an extra innings when they hit a home run to win the game, 8-7, which is another reason why the Yankee fans wanted to lose so that way the Red Sox would not make the playoffs at all, which is kind of odd.
It's kind of ironic and pretty amusing that Yankee fans would actually rather see a loss than see Boston in the playoffs with them. Well, now on to the NFL. So after suffering a hand injury during this past Sunday's game against the Giants, Michael Vick was stated saying, "I'm 100% going to play against the 49ers. I don't know about this, Craig. Do you think Vic's confidence is admirable, or is it just a case of more guts than brains?
I think it's a lot of everything. It's a lot of admirability about him playing through an injury, and it's also a lot of guts because you know you're going to get hurt even more if you play. But I think it's also he wants to prove to the fans that even though he's hurt, he's still going to give 100%. And that he just wants to put everything, all the negativity behind him that happened in the dog case. Plus, San Francisco is a mediocre team, I think, so he thinks he can easily manhandle them. So it's kind of in between on that one.
Well, a few games I'm looking forward to this week are the Jets traveling to Baltimore, Detroit against Dallas, and San Diego hosting Miami. And so a few questions I have this week are, which defense will fall in Baltimore? Can Detroit go 4-0 against Dallas? And can Phillip Rivers and the Chargers keep the momentum going as they host Miami?
I think that Phillip Rivers and the Chargers will dominate against Miami because Miami does not really have much of a secondary or a defense to begin with. I think the Jets are going to be a close game with Baltimore because both teams have a good defense.
Ray Lewis.
And Ray Lewis is going to be dominant. But I think that they're going to outmatch the Jets' offense. And I think the Lions and Cowboys is the game to watch because you're going to see either Dallas come back and show what they're the Americans team, or you're going to see an upset, which I think could happen because both teams are well known to play good second halves.
Well, as for hockey, the New Jersey Devils make their way to Philly to take on the Flyers, and the Demon of the Ice are currently 1-2 this for the preseason again, and so I'm hoping that they'll just rally against the Flyers.
Well, a lot of teams use preseason as a gauge to what players they're going to keep, what players they're going to cut. So it's really not too much to look into early in the playoffs.
It's crucial for the players, though.
Yeah. So it's like if you have a terrible preseason, you might have a good season. It has nothing to do with the actual outcome. But the Devils have a big question to ask in goal because Marty Brodeur is in his last year's contract. So they're not sure who's going to be the goalie next year. If they're going to stay with him another couple of years, or if they're going to turn the page and turn somewhere else. That's going to be a huge factor for the Devils this year. Also, Marty Brodeur came to question a couple of the major decisions that the NHL player safety Brendan Shanahan was calling because of the amount of suspensions early on this year. But it's like Shanahan's trying to prevent people from getting seriously hurt, so he's trying to get the players to understand that he's not joking around with these head injuries and shots to the head. So it's kind of Shanahan's trying to take over, be his first year, and yet set a precedent that players understand where he's coming from.
Well, that's all the time we have for sports today. Alongside Craig Jennings, I'm Jerry Reyes, and now back to Ashley.
Thanks, guys. Amazing discovery. 7 million ounces of silver were identified yesterday in a shipwreck that took place in 1941. The wreck of the SS Sopa was found 300 miles west off the coast of Ireland. The Sopa was sailing from Calcutta to London carrying 85 people when they were attacked by a German submarine, ultimately sinking the ship. Upon the ship were 2,600 tons of pig iron, around 1,800 tons of tea, along with 600,000 pounds of silver, which is valued at over $210 million. If the ship was recovered in 1941, the silver would have been the largest salvage ever recovered from sea. 67 years later, side-scan sonar was used to locate the shipwreck. The planning of the recovery is being plotted and put into effect as soon as next spring when weather permits. Now to Lisa and Candace with entertainment.
Hi, I'm Lisa Bervogel.
And I'm Candace Rivera.
And this is your entertainment news. Former star of the hit show 2.5 Men will immediately get $25 million in his settlement with Warner Brothers in his 2.5 Men dispute. But over time, he will get 5 times that amount. Charlie Sheen is who we're talking about. Charlie Sheen will get $25 million in about 2 weeks, and as we have reported, the sum represents the series and the profits that he has already acquired.
Wow, someone's profiting from being crazy, huh?
Yeah, right?
Sources tell us that the 2.5 Men creator Chuck Lorre seems to be pretty pissed off about Charlie Sheen's plan to pen a tell-all book. Charlie, who has shot around 180 episodes for the show. In the next 7 to 10 years, the settlement would produce about $100 million for the actor in syndication profits alone.
Oh my God,
That's
just about anyone could write books these days.
Mm-hmm.
We may have thought Charlie was crazy, but in this case, he's really winning.
That's true. He's winning from being crazy.
Yeah, right?
In other news, a photo recently surfaced on eBay of a man during the Civil War era that looks exactly like Nicolas Cage. Pretty random, right?
Nicolas Cage?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Could it be the long-lost ancestor, or the Oscar-winning actor is really a vampire?
Never know. Guess we'll just have to look and see. Keep an eye on Nicolas Cage and see if he ever starts to age.
Maybe he'll be starring in Twilight.
Maybe. In other news, Kevin Fetter Sleazy hit the streets of Santa Barbara last week with his newest little accessory in tow, his brand new baby daughter, Jordan Kay.
This guy really just keeps popping out those kids, or his girlfriends keep popping them out.
I don't know where he finds these girls.
I don't know. The newest Feather line, now 6 weeks old, was cold chillin' as Kay Daddy and Mama Victoria Prince hit up some local shops for some fresh baby gear.
Well, he can buy me clothes.
Like to see that kid's closet.
Right? Jordan is K-Fed's 5th kid. He's got 2 with ex-wife Britney Spears and 2 with ex-girlfriend Shar Jackson. What's the appeal with this guy?
Who's next, Miley Cyrus?
Probably.
Well, that's all the entertainment we have for you today. Back to you, Kev.
Thanks, guys. NASA's Upper Atmosphere Research Satellite, which caused a bit of a panic as people anticipated its crash landing last week, fell somewhere in a remote part of the Pacific Ocean, the agency says. Before the landing, NASA said that they could not pinpoint where exactly the pieces of the 6.5-ton satellite would hit, but assured the public that there was very little chance of it striking a person. NASA said that the satellite pieces most likely splashed down in the general vicinity of the Christmas Island, but far from any major land masses. According to the agency, the satellite pieces splashed down in such a remote area that they do not expect anybody to have even seen the re-entry, saying in a statement that, so far no witnesses have come forth claiming to have spotted anything. Now over to Allie with the weather.
Hi, I'm Allie Reep, here with your local weather forecast. Today, on the East Coast, we're experiencing a lot of rain. Up from New York, all the way down to New Jersey, down to Delaware, we're seeing lots of rain with a high of 65. Moving south to Texas, still experiencing a drought. Haven't seen rain in over 6 weeks. It's pretty dry down there, high of 85. Up in Northern California, a lot of rain, clouds, with showers late in the afternoon reaching a high of 64. And Southern California is looking sunny today, temperatures reaching a high of 70 degrees. That's all your weather for today. Back to Ashley and Kevin.
Thanks, Allie. And thank you for tuning in. For Stack News, I'm Ashley Finan.
And I'm Kevin Phelan. Thanks for watching and good night.